Well, hey friends, Roger here, and welcome to my channel, Rogers Reads. So today I'm doing my readathon for the Pride Lit Readathon, which takes place during the entire month of June. So it's been a while since I've done a readathon, so I decided to do two of them this month. And the other one I'm doing is the Queer Lit Readathon, and you can check that video on my channel as well. I recently posted my TBR. So this video, I'm doing the TBR for the Pride Lit Readathon, and I'll put a link to the announcement video below so you can check it out if you like. And there were several prompts or challenges that you had to do. So how this worked is that you chose the challenge for your birth month, and there were several other optional challenges from which you could choose, and I believe you chose one from each category, though you could choose more if you wanted. So I chose the Mystery Thriller Challenge, which is read a book that you know nothing about. And for this one, I'm going with The Extraordinaries by T.J. Klune. This is actually an ARC that I received. The reason that I requested it is because I've loved everything that I've read by this author. So I'm kind of going into it pretty blind. All I know is that it's a queer coming-of-age story about a fanboy with ADHD who has an encounter with the city's mightiest hero. And after that, Nick is kind of inspired and he sets out to make himself extraordinary. And he decided to do this with or without the reluctant help of Seth Grey, who is Nick's best friend, who may also be the love of his life. So sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, anything by T.J. Klune I've loved in the past. So I'm looking forward to this one. So the next challenge is fake dating. And this is read a book that somehow features deception. And for that one, I went with another ARC, which was entitled The Ninth Life by Taylor B. Barton. So this is also an ARC, and this follows our character named Caesar, who I believe is a cat of some sort, and he's at the end of his feline life, and he makes a deal with a goddess to rejoin the girl that he loves. I think her name was Ophelia, for his ninth and final life. However, the goddess deceives him, and this is where the deception part comes in. So the goddess deceives him and puts him in the body of 17-year-old Austin Price. Now, Austin also has a roommate, I believe a male roommate, and he finds himself drawn to this roommate in unexpected ways. So he ends up having to deal with Austin's messy past, which of course he doesn't remember living, which makes being human even a little more difficult than he would have thought. So this book sounds like so much fun, and I really can't wait to read it. So the next challenge is Paperback, a feel-good book. So for this one, I'm going with Rainbow Boys by Alex Sanchez. And I read this way back when it first came out in 2001. And you know, with this book, I'm kind of cheating as well because I'm reading this for the Queer Lit Readathon as well. So I'm using it for two different readathons. But yeah, it's been on my shelf for ages, and it's high time I picked it up. And I mentioned in my other readathon that I have the other two books in this series that I subsequently picked up after I read this one. Kind of refresh my memory before I delve into the other two. So the story follows three very different high school boys, Jason, Kyle, and Nelson, who are all gay but not all necessarily out. In fact, I think only one of them is out, though I don't recall which one. So this is a coming-of-age story and also a coming-out story of these three individuals. So I'm looking forward to rereading it. But yeah, as I mentioned, I read it ages ago, and I really remember very little bit about it. So the last challenge was my birth month book, which for this challenge was a middle grade book. And for that I chose a middle grade book entitled Totally Joe, and this is written by James Howe. So this follows 7th grader Joe Bunch, and as it turns out, Joe has a secret boyfriend, Colin Briggs. So the story revolves around Joe's assignment to write an alpha biography, that is to say, the story of his life from A to Z. But Joe has doubts that this could prove to be serious ammunition for bullying if it ever falls into the wrong hands. So that's pretty much all I know about this. And I think the blurb for this was a coming of age story and a coming out story. And you know, truth be told, I don't think I've ever read a middle grade book with an LGBTQ plus character. So I'm looking forward to it. So that is it for my TBR. And again, I'll put a link to the informational video below so you can check it out. How about you? Are you doing any readathons this month? If so, let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click the like button below, as that really helps my channel out. And as always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Roger it out.